Yes, Fitzroy Crossing. Scenic landscapes, beautiful rock formations, and water features. And a community ravaged by social and racially oriented trauma.
They've survived the vast desolate lands of Australia for thousands of years, but Australia's Aborigines have never confronted a more challenging time. Alcoholism and suicide are rife across isolated communities of the country's northwest, where the average life expectancy is well below national levels.
Introducing the Fitzroy After School Support Program. The Aboriginal community of Fitzroy Crossing faces numerous problems. These include, but are not limited to, juvenile delinquency, which includes petty crime and drug abuse, high school truancy rates, fetal alcohol syndrome, which is widespread amongst inhabitants of the community, high rates of alcoholism, and high rates of violence, domestic and public. Now, what are the solutions which FASP provides to some of these problems? Well, granted, FASP cannot redress all of the issues that afflict this community, but it can target a specific group within this community, and this group is going to be the youth of Fitzroy Crossing. FASP provides school support to these children, therapy and mental support, as well as academic and creative stimulation, so as to equip them with the skills and the mindsets to move out of these problematic areas and pursue their dreams and educations of all sorts. FASP is therefore just the kind of initiative that a community like Fitzroy Crossing needs, in that it keeps its children off the streets and keeps their mindsets directed towards their futures. Now, what are the main goals of FASP? Well, FASP has 4 major goals that it seeks to achieve. The first being to reduce truancy rates at Fitzroy Valley District High School. The second being to stimulate and excite children by giving them exposure to art and culture. The third being to give children mental health support. And the fourth being to reduce juvenile petty crime in the Fitzroy Crossing area. In order to ameliorate the situation in Fitzroy Crossing, FASP has 4 major mechanisms. The first being to give children credit at school and academic support. The second being to give children art therapy and cultural dance, music, and other cultural sessions. The third mechanism is to provide children with therapy and psychological evaluation from professionals. And the fourth is to keep children busy with school and projects so as to keep them from committing petty crime and drug abuse in their spare time. The work done by FASP will be coordinated by 3 major committees. The first being a scholarly coordination committee, the second being an artistic, cultural, recreational committee, and the third being a mental health committee. The personnel for each of these committees is as follows. For the first committee, the FASP project manager, Rita Zeefal, as well as Mr. Stephen Traynor, the principal of the Fitzroy Valley District High School, will make up the first committee. The second committee will be made up of principally Miss Annette Coulter and Miss Emma Gentle, who are both art psychotherapists. The third committee of FASP will be made up of Ganawira's Neera Shrestha, as well as Michael O'Lowlin, who is a licensed psychotherapist. Now, what are the main resources required to power FASP? Well, the estimated monthly operational cost of running FASP will be around about $30,000, and this will then go towards covering stationery, food, art materials, tutor salaries, and textbooks. FASP will fund itself by means of government funding, donations, as well as its own fundraising efforts. FASP is a guaranteed success due to its being an organization which relies on public funding. It therefore has to retain a certain amount of credibility and maintain a success rate. The project is thus pressured to achieve results. The project is also of the kind that the Australian government would likely back due to its having to deal with the societal ills bred by communities such as Fitzroy Crossing. The Fitzroy Crossing After School Support Program, Keeping Hope Alive.